So I hope you guys are excited about today. You should be. I'm excited.
I couldn't get the avatars, but I got this video filter. Does this work?
As if y'all can see it. Can y'all see them? I can't see nobody. I got the screen.
Yeah, that worked, Mina. That
That
looks
works.
pretty good.
Works.
Yeah,
Let
that
me
worked.
see.
You
Let me
look
see
like
what you.
Zorro.
Let me
Yeah,
see
I got the
what you-
Zorro video filter, you know?
Ah, I like that.
This might be a little bit more appropriate, you know?
I like that.
Academy.
I like that. You said he got the Zorro. Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. All right, cool. So we got the recording going on. All right, y'all. So listen, y'all already heard. Let's get right into it. Let's get ready. Mina, are you excited about it today?
I'm ready, man. You know what I mean? I got my VR goggles on. You see? I'm laser focused, dialed in.
Yes, absolutely. And I chose this target here. Some of you are watching the Olympics. Everybody here watching the Olympics? Well, let's not all speak at once. Okay.
I watched the 3-on-3. I watched a little bit of 3-on-3. USA was getting killed in it.
It's all good, but just watching the Olympics in itself, and especially the ones that don't really have a lot of folks in the crowd, like those sports like, you know, bow and arrow. I like seeing stuff like that because you get a real chance to understand, like, those athletes don't get the same shine as everybody else, but they still got to practice as if they got 1 million people in the audience screaming their name. And this is something that I want you to really understand about yourself, because you may not see yourself as a big agent right now. You may see yourself as just a regular person, a regular realtor, and that's okay. But I really want you to understand the power that you truly hold, the power to change the system. Y'all remember GameStop, right? The big craze of how everyone bought into GameStop, and then the short sellers were going crazy because now they had to buy the shares back at an astronomical expensive price. And that's what made those people go out of business or go bankrupt. Y'all remember hearing stuff about that, correct? Okay, I'm assuming you guys said yes, or you nodded your head, because if you didn't, then you're not in tune to what's really going on. But if you did, then this is where I want you to take your mind as we venture through today's getting ready. Okay? Because I want you to believe that you can make just as big of a splash as that stock, literally. And this is the belief that we have as trainers, and the belief that I have personally as a human being. I believe that I'm going to not only achieve crazy things that are going to change the dynamic of our industry, I've already have in some regard in my own way, in my own area, for my own family, and what I have done personally. But having that imagination is powerful to get you to continue down that road when you're not seeing progress. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about here? Just let me know in the chat, since we're not using our voices, unless you want to use your voice, and let me know, because we want to make sure that we all are on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. It's very important, because in order to achieve something, y'all know that you got to believe. If you don't believe, it won't happen for you, because you've already defeated yourself. Okay. So as we go into this, I want to give you a little bit more about me. Some of y'all already know this, but I have to continuously reiterate it. It's very important. I'm not going to read everything out here, but I just wanted to make sure you understood why I go so hard, and also why I'm so committed. Being on the board of directors, I feel, has given me sight that has allowed me to see what's to come, and also how to maneuver my business and those around me. When we first started today, Sharon talked about she wanted to make sure that those of us that come to this masterclass shares something they've learned that's unique. This helps us get through the gatekeeping mentality, right? So if you learned about a new tool, a new AI, or whatever it may be, this is where you want to bring it. And the reason why I love stuff like that, because it allows me to really understand, like, if we connected in that kind of a way, we can truly change what this room can really bring to your business instantaneously. Okay. Mina, I'm gonna let you do your thing, because you got the 12 stars, man. You know what I mean?
Let me take this little video filter off. All right, folks. Honestly, in a lot of classes, I don't even introduce myself, and that's because I really don't like to talk about myself much, right? But I understand that it's not really about me, right? It's about the message and about the value and what it does for others. And sharing helps other people. It also puts things in context and perspective. So this is a little bit about me, right? As far as real estate, I started as an investor. I still do invest. It's a focus of mine. I'm a licensed real estate broker. I'm a licensed real estate instructor. I've done real estate training on a national level. And the biggest really reward out of that is just getting to meet great people who also happen to be in the real estate business and getting to learn from them, but also getting to share valuable information that will help them in their business and their life. I sit on the state agent council for my brokerage. I've done a lot of motivational speaking even before I got into real estate, and I do it in some real estate capacity as well. And I recently founded the Real Estate and Life Academy, really to help folks with real estate and their life. More important than all of that work stuff, I'm a person who loves God, loves to help people, and I love doing real estate. Really, you know, one of my missions in life is really just advancing my family forward. And without going into too much details of that, so I'm a father of 2 boys. Obviously, that's big to me, making sure that their future is bright. And but also not just for my kids, but as a husband and for my parents and my siblings. I help my family invest, and I want to pass on love, but also financial security for generations to come. I know what poverty looks like. I know what extreme poverty looks like, and I want to create a different future for not just my kids, but also my siblings' kids and all of our family generations to come, and help other people do the same as well, right? So hopefully that was brief enough, a little uncomfortable, but hopefully that was helpful to anybody.
We needed that, Mina. We absolutely needed that. And that was the first time you've done it, which is amazing, because we are now wanting to showcase more of why we're here. And we want to make sure that when you guys attend any training, make sure that that trainer has something about me that really resonates with you. And if it doesn't, you also need to see their accomplishments and what they have done and what they are doing on an ongoing basis. The time of, you know, what I've done back in 2005 and the Great Recession are over. We need to hold our trainers and hold our brokers accountable. And that's why I wanted to make sure we went over this about me, Slotty, especially for Mina, because that's just absolutely impressive. And as we know, going into this, I always love to tell you to remember, if you want something you never had, you must be willing to do something you never done. Now, this is a common thread through all of our trainings, because the way we train and the way we teach is not going to be conventional. It's going to be a little bit of what you have heard, but it's going to be in a different way. In order for you to accept that message and really let it sink in, you must recalibrate. You have to unlearn to relearn. Change the way you see your business. But you also have to be willing to do things that you have not done in the past. So as of right now, if you have not made any phone calls this year, so what? If you haven't sent any letters out, so what? If you haven't talked to any of your sphere of influence, so what? You're going to start now, though. Whatever that is that you need to do, don't, you know, hold yourself back because you have not done it yet. Okay? Very important that you understand, in order to go forward, in order to get something different, you got to do something different. Cool? Sweet. Let's jump right into it, Mina.
Yeah, so you know what I found, I teach a lot of agents, new and very seasoned, and one thing I notice is that agents, a lot of agents never really take the time to set up a business, right? Or really get focused. Why? Because you get licensed and you're looking for that first closing, right? You get that first closing, then you're looking for the next one. And if things go well, you just keep going and going and going, and you're going from closing to closing, chasing transaction to transaction, never really taking the time to identify your focus and, you know, really set up your business, right? So this is really the core of our session today, is about really setting up your business and making sure you understand what your focus is before you go, right? So these are a series of questions that we're going to go through, and I challenge you, take a screenshot, right? Open up a notepad or take something to write with. I'm even going to do it along with you, even if you already know this, but it's good to keep it top of mind, right? We're going to talk about your audience. Who exactly needs your help? Who out there can you serve, right? Who's your ideal audience, ideal client profile, right? Number two, we're going to talk about what kind of help do they need from you. I'm going to share with you some stats as to what buyers and sellers said that they need most from agents, right? So that you can tailor your conversations, your marketing to basically show them, I can deliver that for you. We're going to go through where to find them. We're going to go through what strategies is best for getting their attention, and what's your specialty. Why you? Out of the 1,000 agents in your market, why you? So if you haven't already, take a screenshot of this and even begin answering them for yourself, or as we go through the slides, make sure you have an answer for yourself. And Javier, maybe we can bring back the slide at the end and kind of go through it with them to see what their quick answer is.
We could definitely do that. And as we go through here, we're going to be making sure that you understand precisely where and how to get the answers, right? We're going to go through every one of these questions, by the way. So we will bring that back up. So just make sure you have a pen and pad. Make sure you understand and have a, if you have a question, ask. This is not the time to be silent and to feel like, hey, I'm not going to ask this dumbass question, right? Excuse my language. I got to get better at that. I've been told, right? So I'm sorry. So if you got a question, ask the question. Okay. Very important. But make sure you have a pen and pad out. Make sure you're writing this down. Very important. Everything is extremely important. Why? Because we got laws that just changed, and you can't afford not to take this seriously. Straight facts. So when we go into this, who needs your help? We're going to walk you through how to identify your target audience in your market, from your market, utilizing a slurry of resources, but our main resource today that we're going to go through and help you is going to be RPR and Bright MLS. Now, you can automatically just predict that if I went up and down the street of a realtor neighborhood and everybody in the neighborhood were realtors, and I ask who their target audience was, what do you think their answer is going to be? First-time home buyers, sir. Correct. Why? Because it's easy. They're first time. They don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. So great. This is going to be my choice. And that's often the times why you go after first-time home buyers, because you feel as though that if you go after investors, you got to tighten up. You got to be a little bit more quick on the draw. Why? Because investors have no time to waste. But you also know that going to estate planning and dealing with people who may have just recently passed, that's too much emotion. You may not know how to deal with that, right? And those are the three most common that I hear when I ask agents who needs your help, like what's your target audience? But identifying this is crucial for the steps forward. Over the next 12 weeks, we're going to be diving deep into your target audience. We're not going to deviate. It's not going to be one day we're expireds, the next day we're FSBOs, next day we're foreclosures. No. We're going to be diving deep into this target audience.
And before we show them the different ways, right, and all the tools, I want people to kind of, imagine, right, maybe close your eyes and think about your ideal client. Who would you love to work with? Who would you love to work with? That one profile. What is that like? I mean, type it in the chat, or unmute yourself. Who would you love to work with? Maybe you're working with that client profile now. Maybe you're not, right? But who would you love to work with? Like just the imagination of it, what it would be like working with them, you know, through the day, through the transaction. It would just be more enjoyable. It would be more fulfilling for you. It would be more of your lane, right? It would be more of what you enjoy.
Empty
Okay,
nest
so
investors.
say that again, Sharon.
Empty nesters and investors.
Okay. Okay, empty nesters, investors. I see sellers. I see military. Okay. I guess let me ask, are you currently working with them?
Yes, I'm working with investors, but I need to target the empty nesters more for the listing side.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. And everybody else, whether you're answering in the chat or whether you're just answering in your own mind, you know, hopefully you're asking yourself those questions, right? Change your questions, change your life.
Correct. And that's extremely important. And understanding where they are in your market. We're gonna go into that a tiny bit later. But remember, when you select your target audience and you discover that that target audience is not plentiful in your market, then you need to obviously change your target audience depending on your market. So this is where it's tricky. Why? Because Sharon, you said empty nesters, but you may look at the homeowner profile in your community and find out that there are not a lot of people who are empty nesters anymore because their kids are staying home. Either they're not going to college or they're coming back a couple years later. So technically the empty nesting is not long enough to become a real need unless, you know what I mean? So it's really crucial to understand precisely that when you select a target audience, you have stats to back it up.
If there are no FSBOs in your market right now, maybe you should pick up some other, you know, avenues to get business, for example.
Correct. So screenshot this for those of you who are here. For those of you watching this, screenshot it or just save it. Screenshotting it, what is it going to do? Well, email it to yourself, you know, print it out, put it on your desk. Don't just screenshot it and let it go into your photo abyss. I want you to use this as a guide throughout our next 12 weeks together. Your database, getting organized, getting everything in one place. Is there anybody in here that feel comfortable admitting that their CRM is not so good? Go in the chat and put it in the chat or unmute yourself. Is there anybody in here that believes their CRM is not the best or it could be better?
I don't have one.
I don't even use mine, so I don't have one.
I
Okay.
don't have one.
Okay.
Try to find one that's not too expensive, and I know, you know, it won't do a lot like a drip campaign for me. But if I start picking up, you know, prospects, I would love to have somewhere to put them so I can start, you know, keep in contact with them, keep going. But anyway, just try to
Absolutely.
find something inexpensive to.
So I have a list of CRMs. Some of them are free and some of them are inexpensive. Maybe I can send that list out to you guys also after
Or
this.
if you guys
would
ever
love it.
decide to join EXP, I'm letting y'all know that KV Core is the best outside. I say KV Core and Brokerment are the best when it comes to CRMs from my perspective. And those two come free. Brokerment, you will find that Century 21 offices use them. I think Keller Williams offices use them. But I think KW has their own, like, I think it's called Command or something like that.
Yeah, we have our own and it's called Command and I love it.
Yeah,
It
so
works
there you
very
have
well.
it.
I never use
So-
KV, of course I can't compare.
KV Core is just, it's nothing better than KV Core.
Whoever that is with Keller Williams, you are using KV Core because they're part of that system. They just have their own. And the people who runs KV Core runs the Command as well. So it's probably
nice.
kind of similar. So if you didn't know that, I just gave you a gem. but don't
That's
tell
beautiful,
anybody.
Marquina. Thank you so much for that. I never knew. So now we're more related to Keller Williams than we thought. There we go.
And,
We're
and the
distant
best
cousins.
CRM is the one you actually use.
There you go. There you go. All right. So number one is your database, right? In your database, if you do not have a database, do not stress. Your database is going to be your cell phone until you get a CRM. Okay. I repeat, if you do not have an active CRM right now, your cell phone, your contact list, your text message thread, that is your database for the next 12 weeks. Okay.
I know people who do hundreds of transactions using an Excel spreadsheet, you know, so it's
I'm not even going to get into that because Excel, I hate Excel. I'm a Google Sheet guy, so I'm only going to get distracted.
yeah, well, a spreadsheet, right?
No, because the
That's my
spreadsheet
point.
is so difficult if you don't know how to run it. But your cell phone, you use it every day. You know how to get to things in your phone with your eyes closed. Your thumb knows where to go. You could be at a traffic light, you can look down and you already on Instagram scrolling. And you ain't even look down how to get to Instagram. You know where to go. Okay? So use the things that you have. Don't make this more confusing. And yes, what Mina is saying, what we're saying about the CRMs are accurate. But there's no room for excuses on this 12-week journey. Okay? So your CRM, if you don't have one, is your cell phone, period. Or go get you a pen and pad. Make a CRM, go get one of them notebooks. They got discounts. School about to get back in session. They got tons of stuff at Walmart. Grab you one of them big giant notebooks and write CRM on it. Okay? No barriers when it comes to this stuff. Okay? Now, number 2, past clients and SOI. Everybody in here has a past client. If you never had a deal before, then number 1, damn, I didn't know that. Number 2, great, because now you're getting ready to get your first deal with us, because that's going to happen. All right. But for those of you that have past clients, you need to reach out to them. Every single one of them. I don't care if you had a bad experience with them. Call them. Send them a text. Send them an email. It's hot this summer. Every summer is hot. Talk to them about that. The president election is coming up. Don't talk to them about that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Re-engage. That's going to be around the same formula as what we're talking about with reaching out to them. Before you reach out, look up the address, and you can go into your MLS and look up every deal you've done, so you can use the address and then go to RPR, find out what's going on in that community. This way, you make it happen. Now, for the new prospects, that's what we're going to be doing on a weekly basis. We wrote down when you guys jumped on and paid for this training, we told you that you're going to be doing 2 times a week prospecting. My goal is to bump it up to at least 3. Okay? So keep in mind, going into top of mind, many of you have a problem with this because you feel as though that the lack of likes, comments, reshares are an indication that people aren't looking at it. It's not true. You need to get past the views. I don't care about your views. I don't care about your numbers. You're not trying to be famous. You're trying to be consistent. And you need to make sure that you understand that every week you need to be posting something about real estate, something about your target audience.
Okay.
And last but not least, conversion. This is where role play comes into play. This is where script practice comes into play. Understanding how to close that deal. How to get that sphere of influence person or a past client or a new prospect to get them across the table where they're now signing a buyer agency contract or a listing contract. This won't happen naturally. This is going to happen by you putting in the work. Any questions? Cool. Mina, let's jump on in on this. What's your thoughts about this, man?
Yeah, so once you know who you're working with, ask yourself what do they need your help with, right? What is it that they need your help with? Let me ask you a question. So buyers and sellers, we'll keep it simple. I think the first one is buyers, right? On that slide. So the next slide. What do buyers need your help with? Type in the chat. What do they need your help with? Why do they need you? I mean,
Tax, negotiating, paperwork.
say that again.
Just
Negotiation,
negotiate.
locating the house, helping them figure out what they really want to buy because they have no idea what they want.
Okay, cool. So figure out what they want to buy, negotiate. Somebody said locate the house. Okay. What else?
Getting them to to lenders who can help them get the loan.
Lenders. Okay, cool. Anybody else?
Hold their hand,
Hold their hand, right?
like
Maybe
their mouse. No, sir.
be their therapist part-time, you know? When you go to a place that you want to get their service, right? You want them to help you with what you're looking for. So NAR did a survey for buyers and sellers. By the way, they publish it yearly. And it's basically when they surveyed buyers, here's what buyers wanted most from agents. Why did buyers go to agents? Here's what they wanted most. If you can go to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
What they want most is find the right home to buy. That's the number one. And if you look at the percentages, this is by far, outweighs all of the other ones. Keep it simple. What they're looking to do, they're looking to buy a home. Why do they come to you? Because they want you to help them finding the right home to buy. Right? Vast percentage. That's what it comes down to. Finding the right home to buy. Pricing is another one. What offer to make? Right? What is the value of this house? That's number two. Negotiating the offer. And not just the offer, but throughout the transaction. Right? Guidance through the process. They don't know what they don't know, especially first-time home buyers. Connecting with vendors like lenders, title companies, inspections companies, all of that stuff. The paperwork. And I think now more than ever, knowing the contracts and the documents and all of that are very, very important. And also decrease the risk. A lot of people want to buy, but they're afraid of something, right? They don't know what's on the other side, right? They have some concerns. So they want you to kind of put things in perspective for them to show them, right, solutions and resources that's going to make it easier, more comfortable, and is going to decrease the risk from a financial perspective, a lifestyle perspective, all of that. So when they surveyed buyers countrywide, the buyers said, this is what we want from agents. I always tell people, put yourself in your client's shoes. Look at things from their perspective. If you ask somebody, what is it that you want? What is it that I can help you with? This is what buyers are telling you. Okay. So how do you use this? And then let me ask you guys, chime in the chat, unmute yourself. How do you use this information that you see here on the slide?
So right off the bat, I'm letting y'all know that not only should you screenshot this, but this should be your blueprint to creating content. Bottom line, right? Literally. If you're going after buyers and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to connect buyers to properties. How do you do that? Right? And then you want to go and talk about pricing. How many of y'all have seen videos on social media where they're like, this is what $350,000 gets you. This is what $500,000 gets you. This is what $1 million, again, those videos give you insights to pricing and what to expect. It sets a precedence for the reality of what they can buy. But it also sets you as an authority figure when it comes to knowing these things. As far as negotiation, think about that. You literally can make a video about negotiating. If you're looking to buy a house here in Camden County, here are 5 ways that you can better position yourself when negotiating. Number 1, have it be at 5. A buyer financial information sheet is something that all realtors have access to, and we can make sure that the seller knows what your finances truly look like. You can go on and go on and go on. Right?
And I can spend a day on negotiating. By the way, negotiating, especially if you're a buyer's agent, is going to become very critical past August 17th. Or else you're not going to get paid. I mean, you could do a transaction and not get paid, and there will be agents who fall in that because they're not negotiating, they're not filling out the right forms, and sadly, you know, we're going to see it. So I am doing a negotiation class in a month. Tune in, but negotiating skills is definitely something you want to sharpen.
Where's that
And,
class
stay
gonna be
plugged
at?
in with me and with us, and we'll help you with that. Right.
Okay.
Amen.
Is
Let's go to the seller slide, unless you have something to add, Javier.
Yeah. Where's that negotiating training gonna be? Let them know.
Yeah, I'll send him the link. I think so. The first one's gonna be in EXP World, and then I'm also doing the RE&E class in person, probably in October. Still figuring that out. We did in our Friday master classes do a negotiation highlights
Yes.
training a few Fridays ago. So I'm sure Javier has that recording. If you want it, you know, email him, request it. Maybe he'll send you that recording.
Correct. And by the way, for those of you who are now with EXP, you can still participate in the EXP World Training. So when you hear us talk about it, make sure you get with us so we can get you a guest pass. Jump on in, join into the EXP World. It takes 2 seconds. You can do it from your phone. Okay. And this way you'll get a chance to tap into that negotiating training, especially if you feel that you are not prepared properly to handle the upcoming changes. All right.
Yeah, and it's a browser based, so it's not, you don't have to download anything anymore. But was there a question?
Oh yeah, we're actually, I think EXP World works a lot better on the mobile phone now.
Yeah, because it's browser based. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sellers, a few of you said you work with sellers. So what do sellers need help with? Here is what sellers said they need help with, right? According to the survey nationwide. The number one thing is pricing their home competitively. Understanding how to price. They don't, you know, the last one, buyers finding the home. The sellers, they already have the home. So what do they need help with? The most is pricing the home competitively. Because you guys all know what happens if you don't price it correctly. What happens if you overprice a home?
It stays on the market longer, and then you devalue it at that point too.
Right, it stays on the market. You're going to end up doing price reductions or improvements or whatever you call them in your market, adjustments. It stigmatizes the property in a way, right? Because people say, well, why isn't anybody else buying it? What's wrong with it?
Right.
So pricing the home competitively, and even in the seller's market, sometimes how to price a home to attract the most amount of buyers, to get the most amount of offers. Sometimes underpricing is a good strategy in the seller's market, right? Pricing the home competitively, this is what sellers need most from you, and that's a skill that you gain by learning and by experience. Second, marketing home to potential buyers. If you diagnose a home as to why a home doesn't sell, there are two main reasons or big categories as to why homes don't sell. A home is either overpriced or undermarketed. Okay? And you can tell that to sellers too, especially if for sale by owners or homes that have been sitting on the market, whatever. Homes don't sell because they're either overpriced or undermarketed. How do most for sale by owners, for example, market their home? Maybe not much, right? That's why
Not much. Zillow.
Zillow. On other
Zillow,
websites or a yard
online.
sign. Right? What's one big advantage that agents bring to sellers is that the ability to market their home, right? You post it on the MLS, a ton of other agents have access to it, not just the agents, but also their buyers have access to it. It syncs to all these party sites. You're going to do marketing campaigns for them, right? Professional photos, maybe videography. You're going to do open houses. You're going to reach out to your sphere. You're going to market their home. So the second thing is they need help marketing their home to potential buyers. Third, selling their home within a specific time frame, right? They need to move by a certain time frame. Time is very important. And a lot of times if they're overpriced and it takes too long, well, now their time is all out of whack. finding the right buyer. So they might have people that are interested, but who is the right one that's going to take it to closing before they take the home off the market or put it pending or under contract, and then the deal ends up falling through? How do they make sure that this person making the offer, right, that they're selecting the right offer, the right buyer that's going to take this to closing? You're going to help them with that. Helping getting their home ready for sale. So maybe they need some repairs done. They need some contractors. They need a few things done so that they can prep their home for sale. Negotiating, again, gonna be very important moving forward. And lastly, paperwork. No one wants to deal with it.
But that's the most important.
It depends
Paperwork
on
is
who
the
for.
most important, 100%. When you guys are going out to listing appointments and when you guys are speaking about what you can provide to sellers in your market, how many of us in here have seen videos highlighting different paperwork, contracts, disclosures that are necessary to protect sellers and also help them disclose more to win over buyers? How many people, has anybody ever seen a video on social media with somebody talking about this as a topic? Just unmute yourself, just jump right in. I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Ask
you.
that question again.
So let me respond. So let me reply. I mean, let me rephrase that. So, how many people in here have seen a video on social media talking about the benefits of disclosures, documents, contracts, any of that sort of thing to help out sellers?
I don't think I ever,
Not me.
but and not saying that it hasn't, but I don't recall that
Okay.
type of video.
So everybody in here can honestly say you've never seen something like that before, right?
I know I haven't.
Right?
You got
I mean,
me
who
thinking.
has? Unmute yourself. We got like what, 10 people in here? It's 16 people in here. So the point that I'm trying to make, the point that I'm making here is simple. You didn't see it because it's never out there. This is not attractive enough for people to make videos out there. But think about it. Imagine making a reel talking about the lead-based paint disclosure. Imagine jumping on. Are you thinking about selling your house this year? Well, keep in mind, this document right here is extremely important, especially if your house was created or built before 1978. Take a look. And then it goes into the reasons. And then it goes into articles of when the buyer had opportune time to sue the seller and won. And now you're showcasing the reason why this is important. Or maybe the seller's property disclosure. Are you thinking about selling your house? Well, make sure when you are interviewing agents, they bring up this document. Seller's property disclosure. You talk about it. And then you have some B-roll about the negative effects of it. Well, in 2009 in Texas, there was a buyer that sued the seller for not disclosing, and that's old. I'm sure you can find some stuff in 2024, 23, and 22 where people have sued sellers for not disclosing. Right? You can also talk about it about the appraisal contingency, about the escalation clause for the buyers. These documents the public have no clue about. Zero. But now when you start talking about it, no, you're not going to go viral. No, you're not going to have 1 million views. No, no one's going to comment on it. If you tag us in it, we will, of course, because obviously that's what we do. But obviously what I'm telling you guys here is very important for you to understand the benefits and the power of separating yourself by using documents. And I just gave you 3 or 4 different content positions to take.
I love that, especially with the new documents. Now that we have new documents, right, and everyone's a lot of people are in panic mode, it shows to your potential clients or your clients that you're knowledgeable, right, that you know what's going on. One thing about helping, what do your clients need help with? So Javier is going to show you where to find your ideal client, but I want to make sure that you understand who is your ideal client. Then think about what help do they need from you. And to make it even more specific to your business, when we talk about value proposition, right? If you were to just bump into somebody at a barbecue or, you know, a quick 5 minutes and you're doing an elevator pitch or you're having a quick conversation, what is your value proposition, right? You can say, I help X, your ideal client, with maybe 1, 2, and 3 points that you're really good at, but that they really need, right? That you make sure that one thing that you're really good at, you're excellent at pricing competitively, right? That the last X amount of listings you had, you were able to generate multiple offers, X amount of dollars over asking price for sellers. So think about what are you really good at? What have you been really able to do well? That is also the things that your client need from you, and be able to articulate that, convey that in your conversations, in your marketing, to say, I help you, right, get this done. And this thing that gets done is going to be important to them because you already know what the stats, what they're looking for. Right.
100%. 100%. And this is, again, why this training is exactly what you need. All right. We're teaching you how to fish, right? If you ever gone and taken a fishing lesson, you know how difficult that is. A lot of patience, a lot of targeting, a lot of understanding, a lot of research. You got to know where to fish. You got to know where to go. How many people in here actually have a farm? A community that you control from nuts to bolts. You know everything about it.
I had one of those in the beginning of my career, and I actually found the actual information maybe a couple of months ago.
Do you have one? Do you have one now, though?
Yeah, I'm working in my farm is my area now.
Okay, so you're a part of the more deals now, so you're going to be doing that prospecting very aggressively. So I'm glad. Make sure you, on that pen and paper that you have right there, just write down the zip code, write down the neighborhood name, so you could just, you know, just put it in these notes so you have it. Okay. Who else in here has a farm? And when I mean a farm, I mean, you know it, nuts and bolts. Don't give me no, I think I do, I think I don't. No, a farm.
Well, let me ask you, what does that mean? Like, when I know it nuts and bolts, what are you talking about if I've never looked at those metrics or numbers before?
Good question. Good question. Now, a farm is an acronym for frequent area of real estate marketing. Farm is acronym to frequent area of real estate marketing. Write that down so you always remember. That's what farm means. So what you need to understand about the farm is going to be market data. What's the median sales price? What's the median days on market? What's your sales price to original price ratio? How many homes are in your farm? I'm talking parcels. 500, 1,000, 800. How many original homeowners do you have in your community? Right? So these are the questions that you should have answers to, or at least know where to go get them very quickly. Because as we start to,
original homeowners.
I'm sorry?
Will RPR offer that information?
Yeah, what do you mean? Sorry.
No, it's okay. RPR will offer you that information, but we will be using the MLS. I will be taking you through how to identify those stats that I just mentioned today on my MLS. But I do not say don't use RPR, but technically you should be using the MLS for the parcel data. Marquina, you had a question?
I asked, what did you mean by original homeowner? Someone there for more than 10 years?
No, original. Somebody that's been there since the beginning of time.
Oh,
original
okay.
homeowner. Very important. So you need to know who are the original homeowners in your community. Okay, it's very important, because you have an opportunity to really realize, okay, these people have been here since the beginning, or over the last maybe 30 years. So 30 years, if your neighborhood changed hands back in like 1879 or something, then yeah, you're not the original, but just put 20 plus years or 30 plus years.
You should know about your farming area.
I'm sorry?
Did you repeat those?
I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you.
Can I
when we get
also
to that
share my
area.
screen real quick? I wanna, maybe if it might be helpful, I'll share with them a quick sheet. If they want to take a screenshot of it, they can.
Yeah, jump on. You could just jump into
Allow
the
me
share.
to. I love giving people so much. So cut me off and tell me that we need to move on when we need to. Cool. So here's a quick sheet, and this doesn't exactly have to be yours, but this is a quick template. You guys see it? Yes.
We see it. Yeah,
Yes, we can see it, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
make
cool.
it a little larger. I can see it. I think I can see it. That's cool.
So yeah, the idea here is to, someone said, how do I find the right farm? So here kind of it helps you compare different farms or different neighborhoods. You want to look at the total number of homes. How many homes are in the neighborhood? How many have sold in the last 12 months, right? How many current listings there are? What is the turnover rate? Basically, what is the percent of homes that are being sold every year? Okay. If you want, you can go into your marketing cost. So what your marketing cost is for that neighborhood, how much is it going to cost you to market to that neighborhood? Okay. As far as metrics, as home sales, you want to look at the median days. How long are homes sitting on the market? You should know that. The listing price, what are homes being listed for? What are homes being sold for? And list median, and you should also know the ratio. It's not on this template, but what is the list price to sold price ratio? And you should see if an agent is dominating. Look at the closed sales over the last 12 months. Does anyone have more than a 20% market share? I looked at this the other day, and even the top producing agents in my market, the highest of them maybe doesn't even be like 10% at most, right? So there's no one person that's totally dominating.
Dominating.
So
the
Mina,
market.
I wanna stay on that for a second because this is where the imagination comes back into play that I was talking about earlier, y'all. Okay, seeing is believing. Some of y'all believe that people on social media just rule the streets. They just run around here just with a chariot, people holding them up and just hoisting them in the street. Like, huh, huh. Some of y'all believe these people really out here doing it, but they really not. Right? So when you pull up the stats and you really understand who is doing it, who's dominating, it will reveal that you have ample opportunity to now take that market share. Because everybody in your area, most of them are just treading water. They're not really dominating. And when you really get close to a dominating agent, you realize, oh, okay, I get it. That's going to be tough to compete against. But your market, you may be surprised that when you open that site line up and you look, everybody is chomping at the 4 or 5% domination. They don't own nothing. So all you need to do is just button down for the next 12 weeks with us, and you now can get yourself up there to at least double-digit percentage if you stay focused. And then overnight, you will become that dominant agent by default. I'm letting y'all know the board is wide open. Most of the people in your market, they weak. That's a fact, okay? They're weak, all right? And I'm here to tell y'all that. And the reason why you're going to know this to be true is when you start seeing people fall out of business. Listen, I'm telling you right now, it is not a game when I'm telling you that your broker will not pay you if your buyer agency contract is not predated to the day of the executed contract. They will not pay you. Okay? So you're going to have folks that get all the way to this point of closing and realize they did everything for free. I'm telling you. So this is going to be the true vision of what I speak. Why it's important for you to take what we're talking about uber seriously, because there's no way for you to hide. There's no way for you to hide. Okay?
So how, on that previous, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead, jump in.
On that previous screen, before this one.
You mean the one that Mina had up?
Mina had up, yeah. What is that you be showing us about if they've had a mortgage?
Okay, so I'm going to show that to you when I go through the MLS. So that's going to be
Oh,
my
okay.
live demonstration. You're going to
Okay.
see that when I go into the MLS. So that's going to just be what you're pointing out, Sherry, is how I vet through the people who have done something on their mortgage in the last 5 years. And that's how I grade them based off of sales score.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Glad you
talking.
remember that. Yeah, that's definitely something. That's a heater. All right, cool. We keep going. All right, so listen. RPR is going to be your biggest help in here. Most of y'all have RPR. Some of y'all do not. If you do not, you're not going to miss out because I'm still going to help you out. All I need is a zip code, of course. But I need you to take a screenshot of this or just remember this or write it down. Market activity report is all about detailed market data. So when you're going and looking up data about your market, you want to do a market activity report because it's going to give you the data that Mina was talking about. It's going to tell you what's going on. And you can run this numerous times. You can even custom create where you want it to go based off of a geographical area, and it'll give you the number. Okay? Now, neighborhood report is for demographics. This is how you discover your target audience. Some of you have a target audience that you have no business targeting because there are not enough of them in your market. So you understand this when you go into your neighborhood report, because now you can look at the demographics of your community and say, aha, I'm going to go after upsizers. Why? Because there's a whole lot of this, and that means they're going to need more of space. Right? And I'm going to show you what this and this really is because I didn't want to tell you. Now, the property report. This is going to be a value breakdown. Okay? It's going to tell you what a property is valued at. A little bit more precise than a Zestimate. A lot more precise than a Zestimate. That's going to be your RVM. Realtor Valuation Model. Keep in mind, if you're a realtor, you have access to this member benefit. That means it's free. But member benefit sounds a little bit more luxurious. Okay? Now, also, during this 12 weeks, I want you to dive into, I was going to go into something else, but I stopped myself because I don't want to go too deep into this. I don't want to scare you. But I do want you to understand that you have to dive deep into AI. Okay? We're going to make sure that you are satisfied with your output. And the way how we can make sure you're satisfied with your output is right here, using the social campaign. Some of you don't know how to speak about your market on social media. This is going to allow you to do it. Now, all you have to do is I'm going to show you how to do this live today, but all you need to do is clearly go in here, type in your neighborhood, click on what kind of tonality you want to use, click on the audience you want to use, and then go to the social media campaign, and it will give you 4 different types of social media posts you can create. So make sure you take advantage of diving deep into AI using RPR. Any questions?
And Market Trends Scriptwriter, is that a separate app or is that part of RPR?
It's part of RPR.
Wow, that's great.
And I'm gonna show you it in when we get to the end. We're gonna be doing some live work in the MLS and RPR so we can get you guys ready. And we're gonna make sure that you have what it takes. And by the way, I want everybody to understand that during our prospecting sessions next week, you don't have to make phone calls. You can just go right in and say, you know what? I want to do prospecting on social media. And that's fine. And we're going to go in and make sure today that you understand which strategy works best for you. Because Mina, wouldn't you agree that some people just hate making phone calls?
Yeah, for sure. You just have to know the numbers and see what you're willing to do, but also be realistic as to the results you're looking for, when you're looking for them, and what's the best way to get them. Sometimes the fastest way is to get on the phone, right? To connect with people, whether your phone, whatever, but direct contact is the fastest way to get business, right? So make that happen, I guess.
Absolutely. And Marquina, I think you got like some background noise on there. Just when you want to hit that
A
mute.
little baby air conditioner. I'll mute it.
It's all good. It's all good. No big
So
deal.
again, I know we're going over a lot of stuff, but top things to keep in mind is the answers to those questions for you. Who needs your help? What do they need your help with? Where do you find them? Right? So
We
hopefully you
gonna
guys
get
got some. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we're gonna get those questions answered for you. Straight like that. So who's gonna be using a strategy of phone calls? Put it in the chat. Just put your strategy, your best strategy. Is it social media, direct calls, direct mail, door knock, text message? Put it in the chat. Take some time, put it in the chat. I can't see the chat because I'm doing a presentation, but
Well,
We'd
I'll
love to
monitor
hear.
the chat. Think about, again, what you're good at, but also be realistic as to where your business has come from. Where has your business come from? Whether in the last year or the last few years. And maybe it's a good source and you need to, double down on it, or maybe you need to add more sources, or maybe change that source altogether because it hasn't worked that well, right? Calls and social media, okay, calls, text, okay, cool, right? The direct contact for the most part, okay? Door knocking, phone call, direct mail, okay, cool. As realtors, we have to do a lot of things. We wear a lot of hats. Marketing is one of them. And in marketing, there's also a lot of hats. There is a desire sometimes to be everywhere, and that's good. But also, if you take a lot of marketing training, they say, concentrate on one source, 1 to 3 sources or avenues. You can still do the other stuff, right? You can still post on social media. You can still post in different places, but have 1 to 3 main sources where it's essentially, that's where it's filling your main pipeline right there from that source. Door knock, okay, cool. Let me ask another question. Is there a strategy that you want to go into and try, but you just haven't yet because maybe you're still trying to learn about it, or it just hasn't worked? You see other people doing it and you want to do it, but you haven't done it yet. Is there any strategy that you okay, what is that? What is that? Share that with me.
This is Kelly. Building a funnel.
Okay.
Funnel. Like landing pages and creating a funnel where people actually are going to reach out to me.
I totally understand what you mean. So who is the target audience for that funnel?
I would say I would love to work with developers.
Developers, okay.
Investors, but specifically developers.
Why would, and sorry to put you on the spot, but why would a developer provide their information on your landing page? What thing of value would they be receiving then?
I guess basically I would have to put together some sort of guide.
Okay.
Providing them with information on, how I would work with them and find properties for them, and ultimately sell those properties. But that would be my gift, the thing that they would get from
right. The lead magnet.
The lead magnet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I love funnels. They work when you're doing them right. Constant tweaking and some marketing. Happy to help you. Happy to help you with that. Cool. Yeah. Anybody else? What else are you kind of looking to venture into? Maybe you've been hesitant, you don't know enough, you need some help.
I love to hear I'm going into the developer. I think developers, when you really break it down, developers, all they need is reduce fees, ease of, breaking ground, policy changes, you know, things of that nature. Immediately, Kelly, when I think about that, I'm like, all right, what can we entice them with? What developers have been successful? What developers are looking to break in to this community, right? And what does developers need as far as stats, demographic, right? Psychographics of the community, right? Think about what they're doing with malls. They're making them residentials at this point, attached to the mall. So as a developer, if you know that a municipality has shown leniency towards building townhomes in an area that you know that you wouldn't have believed, then now you can use that development to entice other developers to, you know, follow suit, because that's a precedence that was just set. You know what I mean? So I think that having something like that or talking about that, are you a developer looking to expand into Bucks County? Give me a call today so I can let you know the opportunity zones that we have available and ways that you can set tax abatement strategies right off the ground. Now, again, that's not put together, but you get where I'm going with it. This gives you an opportunity to now speak to them in a way that they're now being like, nobody is going to understand that video unless they're a developer, right? But then your content is now stacking with that development content, and then you're showcasing developments that are already in place. What's going on, guys? I'm Kelly Arthur, right in front of the new development on Main Street. As you can see, Bob and Bob is building 16 million homes for first-time home buyers at $200K. Contact me today if you're looking to develop in this community so I can let you know where the hot spots are, right? And again, repetitive content, but going directly towards that developer, I believe that's really going to help.
Yeah, I think this is when you wanted me to share some other strategies also. So I have a whole list of different strategies. And again, you don't want to try to do all of them. And in one of our next sessions, this is really what we're going to dive into. But I'll add a few more than what was in the chat. Community involvement is big, right? Being involved in your community, whether you're volunteering or sitting on boards, that's really big because you know, people get to know you and people like to do business with who they know, like, and trust, right? So find areas of passions in your community, things that align with you, or maybe your kids are in sports, right? So you're naturally there. So be involved in the community, one big pillar of how a lot of people gain business. I'll also share networking, right? So networking and community involvement can go together. But also networking can be specifically for real estate, right? You're networking with people and you're not really reaching out to that person to try to get that person as a client, but you're reaching out to network because you're trying to get clients and you want to stay top of mind, and you're just networking to be of value to somebody else, but also make it known that you're looking for their referrals and recommendations. And over 40+% of people find their agent through a referral or a recommendation, right? So networking is really big. Obviously, your social media presence, which we're going to go over on the next slide, your branding, your content creation, all of that can go into one. With social media, also Facebook page. Facebook is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to business and real estate business. Do you have a community Facebook group? Do you have a few? Join them. If there are none, create one, right? Become the group creator of that community. Make it so focused on the community, but also promote real estate as you see fit, right? In moderation, but it's more community focused. You can write blogs about the community or about the history of the community, or for developers or for your particular target clients, right? You can create funnels. What else? Man, I have a whole list here, you know. You can organize events. Events is a really big thing, right? And not just real estate education events. That could be one too, right? I saw something about seminars earlier. You can do seminars, webinars, all of that stuff, but just community events. Maybe you're already doing it and you're not plugging in your real estate stuff. Maybe you're already attending events and you're not sponsoring, you know, using your real estate business. All of these are ideas.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And this is just a list, and we're recording this, by the way, so when you guys get the recording, you can go and start writing the things down that you heard, but utilize the next 12 weeks to implement these things. Sharon, you had a question?
Yeah, I don't know if this is I seen where a realtor did like an email, just like where you can go back and you can just let your sphere know, or maybe people that you've lost contact, but he did it like in an email. And it wasn't like, it was just like right there. As soon as you clicked on it, you got to see, it's like, hey, my name is whatever, whatever. And, you know, if you're in the whatever to purchase a home or listing your home, you know, just wanted to touch back bases with you, whatever, whatever. Thought that was neat. It was just like, you didn't, it just like was right there as soon as you clicked on it.
Yeah, but that's going to be more of like,
did
again,
that.
your email marketing, and that's fine. And that's why we have this slide up here, because honestly, there has to be, and I don't know this for a fact. I mean, we have a lot of people here right now. If you feel that your social media doesn't contain these elements, you need to go and make some changes today. I'm not going to go through every single element here, but your contact button is extremely important. All right. Your eye-catching profile is extremely important. And eye-catching is because of the red. If you notice from my personal page, you can kind of almost see my head down here in the midst of his followers. I have a blue with a little halo going around it. It's eye-catching. If you don't see significance in this, it's going to be really difficult for you to get prospects from social media. And I want you to remember, this is not just a social media thing, one of social media. This is omnipresent social media. Make sure that across the board, your headshot is exactly the same. Okay, across the board. Every single one of your profiles need to have the same headshot. It needs to be providing the same generalized information and how to contact you. All right? Extremely important. Even if you got one follower on there, make these changes today. All right? Now, let's talk about the superpowers. I know some of you feel that you don't have any superpowers. So I'm getting ready to grant you something right now. All right? I'm getting ready to touch the forehead and give you some powers. You're going to be shaking and screaming and yelling in a minute. All right? You're going to just get your powers and start walking through the streets like a mutant. You know what I'm saying? Like X-Men. You know when they was giving out powers in X-Men? Anyway, so one of the first things, you know what? Let me ask. Does anybody in here feel like they have a superpower that's not on the screen here? Unmute yourselves. Damn, everybody left? We got like one person in here or something? Ain't no way. How many people we got in here right now? Like 15, 16 people still? Let me check the numbers. We got 15 people in here. Can y'all hear me or am I?
Yeah,
am I-
we hear
okay,
you.
cool. All right. I just want to make sure I ain't talking to myself now.
I think people are waiting for suggestions of superpowers. They want to see. Which
No,
one
I want, but I want y'all to put, and this is what I'm telling you right now. Don't let that silence fool you. Y'all ain't jumped to the superpower position because you feel as though you may not have any. Okay? This is where we got to step it up. So on the screen here is superpowers that you could be speaking about right now. Off-market properties, number one. Everybody needs off-market properties, whether you're an investor, whether you are a buyer. I don't care who you are. You could be a private equity firm. Everybody needs off-market properties. So you need to make sure that you talk about this as being one of your superpowers. Down payment assistance and grants. Some of y'all know about down payment assistance and grants, but you don't talk about them. I go on your social media right now. I guarantee you I ain't gonna find no post when you're talking about the down payment assistance programs in your city. Real simple. It's a real. I'm thinking about buying a house in 2024. Well, I got a list of down payment assistance and grants right now that you can take full advantage of, and some of them you can even combine. Click the link in my bio or click underneath this and let's go. Simple. And while you're talking, it could be a B-roll of a list of all of these down payment assistant programs. And guess what? All you got to do is go on perplexityai.com and type in, list all the down payment assistance programs and grants available for first-time home buyers and buyers in general in this area. City and state, please enter. Now, guess what? Perplexity AI gonna spit out a whole bunch of jargon that you may not understand, but there's gonna be a website in there that's gonna take you to your state website, that's gonna take you to all your grants, and there's gonna be plenty of them. They're gonna have grants for teachers, for doctors, for plumbers, for police, for ambulance folks, first-time home buyers, veterans, all gonna be listed on there. And all you need to do now is put that on a green screen on the Instagram, point and shoot. That's it. That's your superpower because nobody is talking about it. We got to make sure that when they're zigging, we're zagging. And if you're not taking it seriously, again, I want y'all to understand, when I'm speaking to you, I'm not speaking to you talking about I got it all figured out or I'm perfect. I'm speaking to you as somebody that's out here in the field putting in that work. Every time I speak to somebody, I'm letting them know what I do differently. And I'm letting them know to ask the next person what they do differently. So we can be graded on the same level. I know I'm a lot. I know I'm coming off like a salesperson. Yeah, I know. But I got what you need, though. You need somebody that's going to take care of you, don't you? Correct. You don't need nobody that's going to be out here just acting like they're about it and they're not really about it. Do they understand how to get you through the closing table by using one of these programs? Do you have a lender that knows how to take care of this program, right? Because just knowing about it is just not enough.
So Javier, let me ask you a question. If I'm an agent and I'm like, I see this list or a list of specialties and maybe I know how to do all this stuff, right? So I don't want to close out an opportunity where I could have something. And I'm torn between, okay, well, what do I promote that I specialize in? But also the fact that I can do all of this stuff. Well, what advice would you give to me if I'm an agent in that spot?
You got to make sure that everything you see on here relates back to your target audience. Your goal is never to inundate them with too much knowledge. Everything on here needs to be related back to your target audience. Everything, right? Feature, function, benefit. Write that down. Feature, function, benefit. FFB. We learned that in car sales way back in the day. I was in car sales when car salesmen were real car salesmen. Saleswomen too. None of that BS you see now. What you see now in the dealership, that ain't no car salesperson. They just sitting around waiting for somebody to throw them a bone. We had to go out and get it. Feature, function, benefit. Does anybody know what that means? Feature, function, benefit. Come on, y'all.
I can guess the
Go ahead.
feature, function, and the benefit of what you're offering to that particular client.
Okay. That's a
No,
nice way
I
to put
don't
it. Who
know.
else?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Did you write it down? Everybody wrote it down? Feature, function, benefit.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. This is extremely important. This is a fundamental of sales. All right. I don't need to sell anymore. That was once a time where I sold heavy. I'm on you heavy. I'm on you like white on rice. You're going to buy this product today. And by the time you paid for it or you got the product, you're like, man, that was aggressive. Whoa, holy smokes. That was too aggressive. But after a while, I grew up, I started to realize, wait a minute, all I needed to focus on is the feature, function, and the benefit and just give you the facts and you make your own decision. This way, you're extremely excited about it and you want to do it again and again and again. Okay? So the feature, let's take, for example, down payment assistance. The function, you keep more money in your pocket. The benefit, the money that you keep in your pocket, you can use to buy a new fence. You can use the money to buy a new washer and dryer. you can use that money to keep into your savings for a rainy day. You see where I'm going with it?
Mm-hmm.
Feature, off-market property. Function, no competition. Benefit, you get a phenomenal deal. Right? Specialized lending solutions. The feature, a DSCR loan. The function, you only need to have an LLC, a little bit of credit, and some cash. The benefit, they ain't going through your pay stubs, making sure you make the money you say you make. You see where I'm going with it?
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep this in mind when you're speaking to anybody. Feature, function, benefit. They need to know what's in it for them. Okay? Now, I wrote on here, member of a national team of realtors. Now, I wrote that in keeping in mind that, in my mind, I said, well, would they believe they're part of a team? I don't think all of y'all believe you're a part of a team because you think, well, I'm on another company or I'm with another brokerage. I'm not really a part of the team. But think about it, though. If you had a referral that was moving into Georgia, you think you can't reach out to D'Angela and put that connection together? Right? If you had a buyer that's coming up in Bucks County or Philadelphia, you can't call me and put that deal together. You can. So then that automatically makes you a part of a national team, does it not?
Yes.
It does. So why are we not talking about it? Why are we not letting our buyers know? Hey, listen, why are we not telling our sellers? Well, I'm a part of a national team of realtors that if you are buying a property elsewhere, I can still connect you with someone from my team. That's it. Right? Feature is I'm a part of a team. Function is if you're looking somewhere else, we are connected. The benefit is we work together. So we're still together. We're still here. I'm still with you. Right? We have to make sure that these basic fundamentals are talked about immediately. Okay? So that's our superpower. But some of y'all may say, well, Javier, that was crazy. I'm not going to do none of that. I'm going to do what I normally do because that's been working. And I get it. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. Comfortability is comfortable. I like laying in my bed in the morning. I read my little articles that Suburban Realtor Alliance puts out every Friday. And sometimes I'd be happy I don't role play on Fridays because I leave it to David and his team to role play for you guys on Fridays. So I just be sitting in my bed like, damn, man, it's comfortable here. It's nice here. I ain't got to get up. Now, I do got to hear my kids in the living room fighting about the video game, but I really ain't got to get up. It's comfortable here. But one thing I know about comfortability is still pain and comfortability. It's still pain sitting right there. It's still painful knowing that you ain't doing nothing to change your situation. I ain't going to gain nothing from laying in that bed. I don't need that much sleep. I'm going to sleep when I'm dead. But most of us, we feel comfortable and we stay right there. So this is a challenge I'm asking everybody here to realize over the next 12 weeks. Take advantage of the agent preview. Now, by a show of hands or by people in the chat, how many of you have actually utilized the agent preview in the last 30 to 45 days? Put it in the chat. Me, yes or no. I just want to see. We got 16 people in here. There's no reason why we can't have 16 reactions. Go in the chat and tell me, have you used agent preview? Now, remember, don't mistake my aggression to me coming at you. But I want you to feel this energy. I'm asking you a simple question. Have you used agent preview in the last 30 to 45 days? Yes or no? Very simple. We got 3 people in the chat so far, actually 2. We
No.
need 14 more. There we go. Keep going, y'all. I want everybody to participate, please. It's very important. Brett, yesterday. You could have just said yes, Brett, but you had to write yesterday. Okay. Who else? Come on, y'all. Bring it in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 10 people ain't go. Let me make sure I put mine in the chat. Yes. Okay. Keep going, y'all. I want everybody participating in here. Remember, if you in this space, you trying to change your situation. So you're not a regular agent. Don't treat yourself like a regular. And if you ain't paying attention, just go ahead and exit. And you might get the recording later. But if you hear, I want to hear your voice in that chat. Let me know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, y'all. 4 more people. Somebody might be in here twice. Okay. Okay. Not familiar. I appreciate that transparency, Bruce and Kelly. Okay. We got a couple more people in here. I'm on all y'all, by the way. Shari, go ahead and put that in there, Shari. I know you on your porch chilling. I know you in there chilling. Jordan in the building. Jordan, what's good, man? Jordan in the building. All right, cool. Okay. I'm done torturing y'all for this time, but I want y'all to realize something. Most of y'all in here said no. Some of y'all said yes. And I appreciate y'all for doing that. Now, the agent preview, everybody in here have showing time on their phone, correct? Let me know. Who doesn't have showing time on their phone?
I don't have it on my phone, but I just used it yesterday. I can
Download
use
it. Go to your app store right now and go download it, please. This is why we're here. We're getting ready for our 12 weeks. I'm telling y'all, I'm putting the pressure on y'all. Mina is here to keep everybody cool. I'm here to turn up the heat to 1,000. That's why I'm in this suit, right? Because it's hot in here. So if I'm hot, you getting ready to be hot. That's a fact. And if you hot, that means the streets is going to be hot. That's a fact. Okay? So go
It's
to your
funny
app
you said
store.
that. I told
Why?
Mina that.
What'd you say?
I told Mina that the other day during the phone call that
I'm coming in
you're
with
gonna
the heat, man, because I want y'all to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's my only goal.
Right.
Okay? But I'm also torturing the agents in my market. I'm torturing them. They know I'm coming for them. They know they don't want to see me on the listing. They don't want to see me pulling up to the house and they got to go fight for their life. They don't want to see that because I'm not playing, right? I don't take anything for granted. I go 1,000%. And this is the way right here, this agent preview. Now, Jordan Smith is in the room, okay? Over a month, I think it was not even a month, Jordan. I think it was like 3 weeks. 3 weeks, me and her mounted. We did maybe like 15 videos. I think we did maybe 20, okay? Properties, agent previews. It's very simple. I'm getting ready to give you this real quick in a bottle because the one thing that you're missing is agent previews, right? You are a salesperson. Whatever you claim, you're a salesperson, okay? That means that the people need to see what you're selling. They need to see your product. And if they go to your social media and they don't see a product, then you're not the salesperson that's going to come to their mind when they're ready to buy said product. You follow what I'm saying? So, agent preview gives you permission to go view a property without having a buyer present. That's what it does. That's the functionality of agent preview. Feature, agent preview. Function allows you to see a house with no buyer. Benefit is that you now are going to make a video about this property and you're going to put it on your social media with permission from the listing agent, obviously. And you're going to also tag that amazing listing agent so they can then share it to their clientele. But let me explain to you about that share right here. Let me tell you something. That when they share your content to their people, somebody from they folks gonna see you and be like, damn, who is that? I never knew. That person vibes well with me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you see somebody on social media that you know is your tribe, you look into that person, do you not? You do. I ain't gotta wait for no answers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You understand? So this is why you need to do an agent preview. And I don't want you to do it just willy-nilly, just go out and see every damn thing. No, I want you to hyper-target the property that you're going to agent preview so it's focused towards your target audience. Because we're getting diabolical with this, you understand? And when you speak to that listing agent, you're going to ask permission, and then you're going to send them a text for confirmation. Boom, you got your written permission. Now you're going to go and do a walkthrough of the property. Go get you one of these stabilizers. This is $106. Some of y'all going to waste that money over the weekend trying to keep up with the Joneses, and that's the truth. It's a sad truth, but it's the truth. Go and get you one of these. Go to Best Buy and buy one. It's $106. I'm screaming here because you need more deals. This is how you're going to get it. Agent preview the hell out of every single thing in your market to make sure that people see the product and what you are providing. Any questions? Come on, y'all. I know y'all got questions because some of y'all never even knew. You don't even use this. Come on, throw the questions at me so I can answer them for you.
You can't preview a property without a buyer? Because I preview properties without buyers.
Well, if you have gone into the listing and have selected a showing, which it was not an agent preview, then basically you gave that listing agent a false hope. And that right there is a problem, because technically when you go and show a house, you should have a buyer alongside you. But if you're going to see a house for your buyer, then that's a different story. But an agent preview gives you the permission not to have a buyer at all. So that so you won't be hounded for the feedback. They're not going to be like, what do you think? What do you think? What
But
you
don't
think?
do
What you
feedback.
think?
They say don't do feedback anymore. Some agent got into big trouble with
Is
feedback.
there a list? Is there like
I'm giving
something
feedback.
on there when you schedule that to go in where you can just put that in the comments where I'm just doing a preview?
No. So here's what I want y'all to do. Pull out your Showing Time app right now. If you don't have it, go to your app store and download Showing Time. Okay? Download Showing Time. Okay? And once you download it, what you're going to see is you're going to see schedule showing, and you're going to type in, you can just put near me so you can see all the properties near you. Now, remember, you're not going to do this when you agent preview. You're actually going to go on your MLS and look up properties to target. But when you click on a property, right when you see appointment type, you're going to see where it actually says showing, second showing, third showing, virtual showing, agent preview, appraisal, inspection, photography, BPO, walkthrough. Those are the options that Showing Time provides for the appointment type. You're going to choose, obviously, agent preview. Okay? Now, these on the screen here are the different types of agent preview strategies. Take a screenshot. The further you go down from highlight, the tougher it gets. Okay? We are on analysts. So we did all of these, by the way, Jordan and I. We did every single one. Okay? Analysis of numbers is by far my favorite. That got us the most views, but it was also a property that changed the game as far as HUD home store properties. Okay? And what I'm telling y'all, remember, listen, this is something that I need y'all to take home with you today. The information you get here, the information that we're providing you right now, it's extremely important for you to realize that we're here to make sure that you take advantage of this. This is what we actually do. We ain't giving you this and we ain't out in the streets doing it. This is what we're doing. Go to my page. Nichols_real estate. Look me up. And I need you to hold everybody accountable, because if you're broke right now in these streets doing this work, you need to get rid of them. If your team leading out in these streets doing this work, you need to get rid of them. Don't ask me, ask your bank account. Let's go to the next flyer. The next slide. All right, let's get to work. It's bottom line.
Man, I know we talked about a lot of stuff today. You know, I always say unapplied knowledge is simply entertainment, right? So what's your homework? What action steps are you giving yourself? You know, one suggestion, start off by answering those 5 questions we began, right? And there's a lot of ideas that we gave you that you can have as action items, but don't have a whole page list. What's 1 to 3 things that you're actually going to do between now and next week that's going to move the needle for you? I mean, you can feel free to answer that in the chat or unmute yourself, but hopefully you're writing things down. Or else, I mean, I'm glad we get to hang out for the last hour and a half, but hopefully you're taking away something and you actually apply it to your business, right? So
100% unapplied. Now and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But to me, I said this to you guys before. But when I say it's Christmas, it's Christmas. But it's more of like, you ever seen that movie Krampus? Anybody in here? You ever seen Krampus? Who in here has seen that movie Krampus? My kids love the movie. It's a phenomenal movie. Nobody in here has ever seen it? I'm not even gonna ask.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of Krampus?
Krampus? No.
Oh, wow. You guys are lightweights. You gotta look it up. CARMPAS or US? I think it's US. I'm not sure, but look it up. It's a horror movie, scary Christmas movie.
Oh, no wonder I ain't see that. Never mind. I'm not gonna watch that. I don't do
You
those.
should. I want you to watch it, and I want you to remember. I want you to think about me, okay? Because the whole entire movie is basically about ungratefulness. People who are just ungrateful, and everything you wanted is now taken away from you because you was ungrateful. Okay. All right. So it's very important for you to understand that most of the agents in your market are ungrateful. I don't know if you are ungrateful. I don't know. You're going to be judged just as much as I'm going to be judged, no matter what. You understand that? We all agree with that, correct? That's what it's all about. So enough of my analogies trying to scare the hell out of you. Y'all going to figure it out because winter is coming. So when you go into RPR, go ahead and open up another screen, people. For those of you who are here, go in there and open up another screen. Please. I need you to follow me. Go into your profile of RPR. Make sure you are all taken care of. Okay? Make sure your headshot looking nice and snazzy. Your logo is looking nice and snazzy. I got to change this logo too, by the way. And make sure your address and everything is correct. And when you scroll down here, make sure your MLS is correct. Some of you have multiple MLSs. Make sure they're correct. Make sure your real estate license number is correct. These things sound super simple, super easy, but I promise you, many of you need to get this done. So make sure you get it done. All right. Now, once you have completely gotten all your stuff done on your profile of RPR, if you're watching this, pause it, figure it out, get it done. Don't skip this step because all you're doing is playing yourself. Nobody likes to play themselves. Okay? Let's go right into understanding the market that we're in. So we're going to go to research. And I'm going to go to neighborhood search. We're going to click that. Okay? Somebody give me a zip code for, you know what? I'm sorry. I won't be taking any zip codes today because I need to get the most accurate data from my MLS. So I'm going to use an MLS of I just put up a new multi-unit today in my market. And it's in this zip code. Okay? So what you're going to see here is you're going to have your market data plugged in. I'm not going to go through everything on here. That's for another day. All right. However, what I will do is I identify our most filled positions, occupations. All right. Understanding what they are. Okay. And then I'm going to go in. Going to go click housing. I'm sorry. I'm going to click people. I'm going to go into the people box. I'm going to identify the levels of education. I'm also going to identify population by age group for children. Now, this is where I was going when I was speaking to you folks about downsizers and upsizers. Based off of what their occupations are in this community, which as you can clearly see is healthcare and social assistance. And then we go up to housing based off of our data sets. Median list price 195,000. 61% of the population own 39% of the population rent. Okay. And then we go over to the people. Okay. Population has dropped since 2020, almost 2%, which is definitely outpacing the entire city and the entire county. Okay. Outpacing in a negative way. But then we go into the education and we realize that we have these sets, data sets, population by age group for adults and children. Now, based on the quick data that I just showed to you all, who is my target audience? Hit me with it. We do have somebody with a loud mic. Can y'all mute yourselves, please? If you are not speaking, just mute yourselves. Got some back noise.
Can you scroll up?
Yep. Right here, you
Sorry,
mean?
I meant down. I
I'm
want to see
sorry.
the other. Oh, there you go.
Right, and then we have this. So let me scroll out a little. I can't scroll out. So I'm sorry. So I'm gonna just scroll up and down slowly, okay? Population by age group for children. Population by age group by adults. Household with children. Household without children. Single with children. Household income brackets. Less than 250,000. For those of you who didn't know what that meant. Who is my target audience? Based on the data sets I just showed you.
Are we talking buyers or sellers?
Both. Let's talk sellers and let's talk buyers. What's the buyers? Who's buying?
Families, growing families.
Growing families who are currently doing what?
Renting.
Renting. Correct. Currently working where? Where they work? Thank you. Where do they work, y'all? Remember. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Right here. Where do they work? Local hospital.
Hospitals.
Health aides, right? Are they married? Well, most likely not. Could be single. Or they may be married without kids, getting ready to have kids. Are y'all following me on this, how I'm building this up? Because this is not by accident. I'm choosing these people.
Yes.
I'm here to help y'all now. I'm telling you what you need to do to prepare yourselves. This is market data. I don't even live in this zip code, and I know who to talk to. I live in Bucks County. I don't live in this zip code. This is West Philadelphia. Takes me 50 minutes to get there. Why? I know. I just came back. 50 minutes. And I know precisely who I need to talk to. Single moms who work in the healthcare field with kids, possibly in this elementary, in the middle school area. That's it. All I got to do is go and speak to their problems. What are their problems? Well, majority of them are renting, so they're paying astronomical amount renter rates. So I now need to go and find where my absentee owners live, because once I find my absentee owners, I found my target audience. No, I don't know if that's a female or male living in that house, but then I'm going to send them a flyer about a down payment assistance and a grant for people that work in the healthcare field. I'm gonna make the healthcare field look perfect with the little squiggly snake going up the little, y'all know what I'm talking about. So maybe it triggers them to contact me because I'm speaking to them. Are y'all following me on this?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm laying it on you. This is the kind of energy you got to get in your business, y'all. I don't give this energy just to show y'all, just to try to act cool. Like this is what I really do. This is how I get busy. Simple. And we ain't even really go deep. We ain't even door knock yet. Right? And I'm speeding through this because I don't want to waste too much time on this, because we got to go to the MLS and I got to find our original homeowners, and I'm going to choose this same community. I'm going to create some leads while I'm doing this because this is the energy y'all going to get on them prospecting calls. I'm not going to be sitting on there picking my fingers, waiting for you to do a deal. I'm hungry. I'm going to run laps around you if you allow me to. That's it. This is not a drill. So let me keep going because I'm getting pumped up and it's a Friday. I should be chilling out. You know what I'm saying? So now we understand who we're targeting. We get it. Boom. That's complete. Now, if you wanted to be proactive, remember, if you put your stuff here, it would already be labeled. All you got to do is do what? Which report do I need to talk the talk that I need to talk? Y'all learned about it earlier today. Which report?
Market activity report.
There we go. Now we cooking with fire. You know what I'm saying? Let's run that market activity report. Why are we doing that, Martina? Why do I run the market activity report? What is it for?
Data.
That's what I'm talking about. What about the neighborhood report? What's that for?
The neighborhood report is about actually what's going on in the neighborhood for the actual client itself to.
I like that explanation. That's real political. But let me just summarize it for you. Neighborhood report is for demographics. Write it down. Write it down. Very, very quick. It's a quick jab on that. Demographics, data. You know what I'm saying? I need you to be on that kind of time, right? Because this is what I'm saying. Now we have our data. Now we have what we need. This is Overbrook Park, okay? One of my new listings is somewhere in this little community right here. I'm going to choose this neighborhood right here, and I'm going to dominate it. This is going to be for those of you who have joined our More Deals Now. I want y'all to hold me to the test. I want you to watch what I do with this community here, okay? I want y'all to see what I'm going to do. It's very simple. All right, so this is my data set. If you are looking to do this, all you would need to do is download this or print it out and put it on your desk, hang it on your wall. If I turn my camera around, you will see that Middletown Township entire map is on my wall, okay? Then I got another wall that's got all my deals on it as well so I can write stuff down, all right? This is how your office should look in your house. If your spouse got a problem with it, let them know you're getting ready to change your life so they don't need to worry about the holes you put in the wall for all the stuff you're hanging up because you're getting ready to change your life. So they're going to be okay with it. And if you don't have a spouse, perfect. Go grab you some thumbtacks over at Office Depot. Grab you one of them little dry eraser boards, okay, and get to work. All right, now we're getting ready to find out where these people live at and what's going down in this part of town. So let's go right here. All right, can y'all all see my screen? Y'all still with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 3:14.
Yes,
we
we
got
can see
15 minutes. 15 more minutes. Now listen, I was waiting for this day, for just understanding of competition. Everybody's being graded the same way. So let's get on into it. And by the way, for those of you who's going to be joining us for the More Deals Now, like I told you before, we're going to keep transparency, okay? These are the deals I'm working on right now. We got David Drive, that's done. That's going to close end of the month. We got Ryerson, that's going to close end of the month. North Stillman, I need somebody to buy this. I might buy it for myself. Why? Because I just need to sell this damn house. Okay, and I just got a new multi-unit on Windward Road that we're cleaning out. All right, so I plan on having double by the end of this month. So for those of you who are with us, hold me accountable, okay? Trust and believe. All right, so let's get to it. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to go to public records, okay? When I go to public records, I'm going to go right into the map. Now, when you know your city geographically, you can go ahead and just start zooming in on stuff. But if you don't know your city, then you just got to cool it out and just chill until you figure it out, okay? I'm doing it because I know this little area right here. So y'all remember this little community right here. This is the one I was telling y'all about, Overbrook Park, okay? Now pay attention. This is how we going to do it. Actually, you know what? Let me slow down. I'm going to go back.
You can also jump to an address. You can type in an address in there and it pins it, and then you can go from there.
Okay, that's true, 100%. So for those of you who was, I think it was you, Sharon, you were asking about the data, the numbers that you need. Okay, I think I lost the damn area already. No, it's right here. Okay, cool. All right. And mind you, I just want to give you all preference. I live all the way over here. Okay, and I'm getting ready to squeeze every agent in Overbrook Park. And I want y'all gonna witness it too. Telling y'all right now. Everybody in this little section right here, whoever dominates over here, getting ready to know the name Javier Nichols. And that's gonna just be by default. And I'm not talking junk just to sound like I'm cool. I'm letting y'all know this is the energy you need to give it, because you got to have that passion. You got to believe it in yourself. I did tell y'all earlier that if you don't believe it, who's going to believe it for you? Right? Who's going to tell you you're going to accomplish these goals if you don't tell yourself this when you enter into this? Okay? Very important. Now, so Sharon, this is for you. These are the data sets you need to dominate. All right? You're going to go to customization, customize. Now, if you're working with a farm that's geographically close to you and you ain't got to drive for it, then you want to go to full 10 years. Okay? If you don't want to go to full 10 years, then you want to make sure that you we all should be just as aggressive as the deregulation electric people. I just got 15 calls back to back. I'm looking at my voicemail. It's like, please call us back. We can lower your electric bill. 15 calls. I'm just saying, people, these folks are getting it. So anyway, let me stay focused. Let's go back to 5 years. And we're going to go into sales number, primary year. We're going to do by group. So first thing you need to know is the number of sales per year in any given community. Okay? Now, I have identified a community on the map. So this is telling me that on average, this community sells what? What does this community sell on average per year? Now, quickly, you can just do the math by adding everything up. Well, adding everything up from this year to 2023, divide by 4 or 5, and then you have your number. I'm going to say maybe 52 or 53. That's my number. But right now, we only have 27 deals happening. So we understand there's at least 30 more transactions happening in this area before the end of the year. This is going to be your motivation to keep going, because you know they're going to sell those extra houses. Somebody's going to get those deals. All you need to do is make sure you're on top of mind when they make that decision. Okay? Second.
So going back, one more real quick, going back to that number, right? Like, how many do you think you can get? When we're looking at, okay, who dominates the market? Huh?
I said, how many do you need, right? Because that's the number, right?
Right, but when you're figuring out your marketing dollars and you're spending money, okay, so they're selling X amount per year in this neighborhood. There's not really anybody dominating. Here's the percentage of market shares these agents have. How many can I realistically get? And how much money will that make me, right? So that you know how much time and effort and marketing dollars you can invest in that community based on what you perceive to return. Now, these are estimates, but it helps you kind of put some things in better perspective.
1000%. 1000%. Let's keep going. So number of sales, you got that. Boom. Now you want to go to sales price to original price ratio. You need to know what's cooking. Okay? You need to know what's cooking in here, right? You see 97%. 2022 was 112%, but before that, you're right around that 99 to 95%. So you know on average, you're right around 96, 97% on average. Okay, maybe you could say 98%. And all that tells you is that most people get seller's assist, or the properties are on the market for too long and people are coming in 2% light, but you need to know this number, okay? Sales price to original price ratio. Now, you need to also know what your list price median is going to be. So you understand where you need to be as far as price point when you find a good deal. All right. But you also need to keep this in mind, because if I'm contacting you, and I only went 5 years, but let me go back 10 years. If I'm calling you and you bought your house in 2024, can I now give you a little bit more of that passion when I'm telling you that you're sitting on some money? Yes, I can. And I can even go further than that back, which is where we're going to find our original OGs. Okay? List price median. Another number you want to look, days to sell. How long does that take for you to sell? I'm going to go back 5 years so I don't confuse you guys. Okay? Boom. Right there. Now, if I really wanted to get busy, I'm talking real busy. Sometimes I feel like that sometimes, you know what I mean? I just be like, man, you know, I'm trying to really do something crazy. I look at the month by month so I can track it and realize when is the best time to strike. And this is for when you have an investment property of your own and you want to size it up. You want to hit the market like Mike Tyson in 89, right? You want to just do a one-hit quitter. This is how you find out. And this is also how you find out where you want to know where something is going to go a little sour with a competitor. You're like, yeah, I want to watch what they do because this is the time of the year where things stay on the market longer. So maybe I'm going to wait before I introduce my buyer to this house. So this is why you want to go month by month. But when I show this times, most of the time people start getting queasy because it's just too many numbers. All right. So let's go back. Primary year. So another data set you need to know, okay? You got days to sell, you got list price, then you want to go over to your sales price median. Okay? Sales price median. Now you saw that 2024 had list price at 229 and then the sale of 220,000. Now that's shaping up to be right around where it showed you, 97% of asking, maybe a little lighter than that. Okay? So you got to realize that this entire time, I'm still keeping in mind who my target audience is. Do y'all remember? Who am I targeting in this community? Or did I lose you?
Single people with children that work probably in healthcare.
That's it. How much they make? What kind of money they bring home?
Oh, I can't remember.
I was trying to catch you off
It was
guard.
less. It was less than.
I was
don't
trying to
remember.
catch you, so let me show you right quick. So that was a trick question. Well, the real answer to that would have been going in to seeing what their income brackets are, and most of them are going to be making right around here. Okay, if they're still working, of course, and they're paying rent, they're going to be between 50 and 75,000. Now these people here, okay, making under 25,000, that's going to be a more of your special programs people. You just got to be real mindful of who they are and where they are. Okay. But obviously you want to target this group, and that's where you want to start talking and where you want to focus on. If I'm paying rent, let's talk about the rent. Let me go into here. So now we're going to go to residential lease. We're going to go to map. And remember, y'all, geographically, we know where we're going because we've been there before. Okay. So we keep going back. And this is why it's very important for you to know where your farm is, because every time you go to run some data, always use your polygon and then always come back to it and run your data sets. Okay, you want to do a close, 365, active, and then pending, right? Go back to your map, and then boom, you got all of these rentals going on. Let's see what the numbers look like. Okay, we got a slurry of numbers. All right, now remember, I didn't take y'all through this data set, but you can actually see the homes that are sold in the community based off of bedroom type. Okay, but you can now understand where people are paying. All right, now on average, where would you say people are paying for rental in this community? Where would you say? What number? On average. Don't think too hard. Spit it out. What's the number?
Can you repeat that question one more time?
On average, what do people pay for rent in this community? On average.
I'm just gonna guess and say 1,500.
That would have been my guess. 1,500. You know what I mean? 1,500. Because I mean, 2 bedrooms.
15 to 1,800.
Yeah, so 15. So 15 to 1,600. So now if I know, remember, I am building this up for my target audience because now I know they're paying anywhere between 1,500 and 1,700. So where do I need to find a deal mortgage-wise to appeal to them? 1,500 to 1,700. Simple. All right? Very simple. Now,
Where they do that at? So,
I'm getting ready to show you.
I
I know, right? So 15 to 1,700. So let's now go back to the same data set. And I know some of y'all may have gotten nauseous already on how I'm moving and grooving through this MLS like it slices hot cheese on butter. Those things don't match, but they sounded great at the time. Now, the reason why I'm going so fast, because I want you to understand that once you start doing this quick enough, long enough, you understand how to maneuver it, okay? So let's go back. Let's find out what we have. Now, in this community, what kind of properties do we have? Right? What we got right here on Sherwood. This property on Sherwood. Let's go through it real quick. Okay. It's a nice little house. Whoever got the listing makes me sick because they ain't do real pictures. They took it with their cell phone, but this looks move-in ready. Would y'all agree? This move-in ready?
Yes.
Yes, move-in ready. Got it. Let's do our buyers. Let's hit it up. Now, remember, this is an actual house. It's actually on the market right now, okay? Let's do our settlement for the end of September. Okay, matter of fact, the beginning of September. All right, interest rates. Somebody tell me the interest rate for today. What is it? Come on, people. We're in a room full of realtors. Y'all should be screaming and yelling about this because you know about this. You should have Mortgage News Daily on your screen right now. What's the interest rate of the day? Taking too long, people. I'm gonna do it for myself. This is how we got to get down. This is what it's gonna be. 6.40. That's for conventional, but we got 6.10 for FHA. 2 seconds to get me in there. Now I'm gonna just treat them with a little extra sauce. 6.25. I'm gonna go with an FHA. Okay. Where my payments at, y'all? I can't make this up. Where my payments at, y'all?
1,400 right at the rent.
We cooking with fire or what?
Wait, but hold on a second. You did FHA? You see
FHA
that?
3.5 down, 6.25. Not even doing 6.1, but if I did 6.1
You got
off, then I'm already
you
gonna
got
get them a little
PMI?
Christmas present. 1421. Now
Yeah.
remember, they got to come to the table with 16,000 right now before my down payment assistance programs. Right? They bring a home, they got to come home with 16. How many people you know, single parent, 2 kids, got 16 G's in the bank account? How many of y'all know like that? It may not be your community, my community, I can know. They ain't got 16 G's. Why? They just don't have it. They don't have it. And that's okay. But now we're going to go ahead and throw in a program, right? I'm going to count it as seller's assist, but let's just say we got them maybe coming in with $10,000. Right? That's easy. I can get them a grant. Boom. Philly First grant, 10 G's. Or I can go with the PHA grant, which is 5% of purchase price. So let's go ahead and do that. 185 times 5%. That's 9,000. So let's just count that. That's basically going to be the same damn difference. Now they got to bring home to the table 6,800. But wait a minute, though. We're at 185. So do we go right here to 190 and give me 15,000 and boom. What they bringing home now? What they got to bring to the table now, y'all?
2,200.
That's it. This is what we're going to be doing all over the next 12 weeks. It's not no made up magician mumbo jumbo crap. I just chose a house on the market. I just added in seller's assist for 15,000. I only increased the sales price by 5,000 to give me my seller's assist without coming out of the pocket of the seller. I got them connected to a grant, a no-brainer grant that everybody gets in Philadelphia when they're buying a house. Now their payments are going to be exactly or lower than what they're paying for rent. And they only got to come to the table with $2,200. And I guarantee you I got a lender that's going to give them a credit for at least $1,500. Now they bring in $800 to the closing table, buying a house. But guess what? They get their security deposit back from the landlord. They're paying $1,500. How much is security? At least $1,000. So they just bought a house with $200. Are y'all following me or y'all asleep? I just want to be sure. How many people we still got in here? We got 17 folks in here. Y'all can't tell me this ain't heat. Put a fire emoji in the chat. I just want to know because I feel like I'm losing people in the crowd here. Are y'all following me or not? When I tell you I'm putting pressure on this community, I'm not just making it up, y'all. I just showed you the game.
Are we purposely ignoring home insurance, homeowners insurance and taxes?
Yes. You know why? Everybody's different. Your taxes are in there. Real estate taxes are in there. Homeowners insurance, charge that to the game. That's going to be what it's going to be. I never have a problem with a client saying, oh my God, I can't buy a house because my insurance is too high. That's never been the case. It's only been flood insurance, push people out. But again, everybody is different. Because your homeowner's insurance is credit. All right? Now remember, y'all, I told you who my target audience was. I told you what I'm here to do. These are what we're going to do throughout. I'm not here making shit up. I'm letting y'all know. This is why I'm telling y'all to take advantage of what we're doing over here. Very important. So now we got our house, we got the whole nine, but now I want to find where my people at. Because I told y'all I'm doing this for a purpose. For those of y'all in the group for next week prospecting, you're going to see me squeeze every single body in this community, and I'm going to do it with spite because I want you to see exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want you to just listen to me rambling on. I want you to see the action and work, right? So now let's find out how many people we got here that's absentee homeowners. Oh, I'm sorry. We got to go right here. Public records. Okay, let's go back in here. It's 3:33. We got a couple more minutes and then we out of here. I'm getting amped up and I should be chill right now. You know what I mean? But like, damn. Feel like I wanted to be Monday again, you know, because the weekend I really take time for the family and just cool my jets. But like, damn, oh my God. All right, let's get to it, man. Why is it not giving me what I need? Okay, cool. All right, here we go. All right, cool. So absentee owners, owner occupied, no. We got 514 absentee owners. I want those absentee owners to have bought their crib 2005. 2015. 117. So I found 117 absentee owners where they bought these rentals 05 to 2015. Don't ask me where the dates came from. I just chose the regular date. Okay. So now I have these folks in here. Now you remember, Sherry, you asked, why am I going after or how am I using the mortgage data? So now we understand that this person, Family Stations Inc., don't want them. That's a company. Okay. Now we have these folks here. They haven't done nothing to their mortgage since 06. I want them. I want them. Right. I'm going to go through this. I don't want any LLCs or any companies. I want to deal with homeowners. And then as you're doing this, I want to explain something to you guys. As you are going through this, you're going to identify certain names that are going to reveal themselves as being people of interest. Maybe a name pops up 3 or 4 or 5 times. And when it does, you now understand that this person, no, they got that from a sheriff's cell, that this person is somebody you want to get to know because they have so much inventory in that community, right? So any questions while I'm doing this? Come on, y'all. I know y'all got questions.
I got one.
Lay it on me.
Like, if you see an LLC that owns several of them, it could be somebody you could target for a multi-house sale.
Could be. But LLCs, they just, for me, my history, we're trying to find a number to the LLC. So basically, it has been difficult. However, these are people who have renters inside. So if you felt as though that once I got to the end of this list and all I was left with were like 3 or 4 numbers or names, and the rest of them were LLCs, then I would just reach out to the tenant to get their landlord's name and number. But to me, I don't want to do that step until I start. Look at this. Look at that. Y'all seen that? 75 Street Partners. What? Yeah. We're getting them out of there though.
For the LLC, you can find out the address for the LLC.
Yeah.
And then I search that address to find out who the owner is.
Correct.
So let's just say it's ABC LLC at 123 Main Street. I'll go to who lives at 123 Main Street, and it's like Joe Blow. So Joe Blow is the owner of the LLC. So then I just throw it in Red X and I call him.
Correct. And that right there is a phenomenal strategy. I love that strategy, but I want to do that strategy after I'm done dealing with the high-end, top shelf people. Like going into that extra route is kind of like if I'm sifting for gold in a lake, you know what I mean? Like my first couple sifts is, I'm looking for that, and then I'm gonna go deeper and dig deeper.
Right, you're going for the low hanging fruit, the easy.
Correct. First. And I'm
I
doing
got
this
it. I got it.
because
First, yeah.
over the next 12 weeks, I want listings. And I want listings because I'm going to go into these households and I'm going to cause disarray. Okay? It's like if I was a messed up person and I'm trying to make a partnership break up, I'm coming in. Now, I'm not messed up because obviously I want this tenant to believe and understand they can own the home that they live in. But I also want to appeal to the landlord, let them know that we have opportunities for them. So I have 82 homes in this community who are all absentee owners that purchased their properties or have owned these properties since 2005 up to 2015. Okay. Now, what that means, how many of these people do you think are disgruntled landlords out of 82? How many? They just sick and tired of being a landlord, just sick of it.
67.
Let's say 3.
Right? 3, 67, who cares? We're getting ready to find out every single one. What we're going to do is send out a letter to every single one of these homeowners. It's going to let them know what's going on. And then we're going to put a QR code on it so they can scan it, and I get their name and number. Then I'm going to call them. Then I'm going to get them charged. I'm going to get them pumped up. Did you know you can buy a house for less than what you're paying for rent? You can also purchase the house you with right now. I ain't buying this piece of, really? So if you did move, where would you go? I want to stay out West Philly. All right, cool. Well, what's the name and number of your landlord so I can reach out to them, so I can let them know different ways they can, really help themselves as well as help you. You can call his, and they're going to tell me the name and number. Now, that's not an actual depiction of what I'm going to say, but it's going to be similar. 82 homes. I want y'all to remember that. Screenshot it. Take a video of it. Whatever you want to say. Yo, Javier was talking heavy on Friday. He said he's going to dominate Overbrook Park. Great. Overbrook Park, rental, hit list. I'm hungry. And that's it, people. That's it. That's how it goes.